Today, let's do something interesting. We're going to take apart the Reliance machine. We're going to look right under the hood of one of India's biggest, most complex companies and figure out how all its massive, sprawling businesses actually connect.
There's a really good chance you've already interacted with this company today, maybe in the last hour even. You might use their phone network, you might shop in their stores, or maybe you filled up your car with their fuel. But have you ever stopped and wondered, how does it all fit together?
I mean, think about these names. Jio, Reliance Digital, JioMart, Trends. For millions and millions of people, these aren't just brands. They're a part of the daily routine. And understanding that incredible scale, that's the first step to unpacking the whole thing. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
So, to really get the big picture, let's start with what's most visible to us, right? Let's start with the consumer-facing empire. These are the parts of Reliance you see and interact with every single day.
Okay, let's break this down into its two modern pillars. On one side, you've got Geo Platforms. That's the digital engine, right? Your mobile data, your broadband, all that stuff. And on the other side, you have Reliance Retail, which is one of India's largest retail networks, covering basically everything from your groceries at Reliance Fresh to the latest phone at Reliance Digital. And here's the strategy behind it all. It's really about one thing: capturing your everyday spending. The goal is to get so woven into your daily life, from the data you use when you wake up to the groceries you buy for dinner, that you become a loyal customer again and again inside their ecosystem.
But hold on. Building a consumer empire on this kind of scale, well, that takes a staggering amount of money. And that brings us to the hidden part of the company, the powerhouse, the cash-generating engine that funds everything else. So the big question is, what's actually powering all of this massive expansion? Where does the money come from to build out all these digital services and retail stores? And you know what? The answer might actually surprise you. Because if you look at the company's revenues, you'll see that one single traditional segment is responsible for over half of all of it. That's where the real money is made. The answer is the oil-to-chemicals business, or O2C as it's known. This is the historic backbone of Reliance. It's the original, foundational pillar that generates these enormous cash flows, which are then used to fuel the growth in all those other areas we just talked about. And this is a perfect example of their strategy of total control. So, step 1, they refine crude oil. Step 2, they process that into a huge range of petrochemicals. And then step 3, they sell those products all over the globe. It's this complete ownership of the entire chain that generates such immense profits. Okay, so we have the consumer businesses, and we have the industrial cash engine that funds them. Now let's look to the future. How is all that capital being deployed? Where is Reliance placing its next huge bets? The answer is crystal clear: new energy. And in a really fascinating strategic move, the profits from their legacy carbon business are now funding a massive pivot towards sustainability. We're talking solar manufacturing, pioneering green hydrogen projects, and building absolutely enormous gigafactories for battery storage. And make no mistake, this is not just a side project. The ambition is to make new energy a major core part of their revenue by 2030. They are trying to strategically position themselves to lead the next generation of energy, full stop. And woven into all of this, you have media and entertainment. You see, content, it's not just about ads or subscriptions, it's the strategic glue that keeps you engaged in their world, making every other service, from your data plan to your shopping cart, even stickier and harder to leave. All right, this is the aha moment. We've seen the consumer side, we've seen the industrial core, and we've seen the future bets. Now let's look at the all-connecting strategy that makes this whole thing work as one single cohesive machine. So the first key idea is something called vertical integration. It sounds a bit technical, but all it really means is controlling an entire business process, from the very first raw material all the way to the final product that lands in your hands. A perfect real-world example of this is how Reliance refines oil, which then produces the chemicals that are used as the raw material to manufacture their own textiles. By owning every single step, they control the costs and, crucially, the supply chain. Okay. The second key concept is horizontal diversification. This is all about reaching the same customer, you, but through many, many different kinds of businesses. It's all creating multiple touch points in your life. And this is where the ecosystem just comes alive. So maybe your Geo mobile plan gives you a discount on groceries from GeoMart. And then, while you're shopping, you see an ad for a new show on their streaming service. See how that works?
Each business feeds the next, creating this powerful loop that just makes every single customer more valuable.
So here it is, the entire machine, laid out like a blueprint. You've got the O2C business acting as the financial engine, Geo provides the digital rails that everything runs on, retail captures the consumer spending, and media acts as the content glue. Every single piece has a clear purpose, and they all work together almost perfectly. So after seeing how all these gears turn together, what's the big picture here? What really comes next? Let's zoom out. What you end up with, the result of this massive strategy, is one deeply unified ecosystem. It's designed to connect the energy powering the country to the digital world in the palm of your hand and to the products in your shopping cart. It all becomes part of a single integrated loop. And that leaves us with one final and kind of provocative question. As this integrated machine keeps growing and becomes even more entwined with our lives, what is the ultimate goal? Is it to build a company that simply serves you, or is it to build a company that aims to become your world?